Lisbon, Portugal's largest city and its capital, is one of my favorite cities I visited this year. From its pastel-colored buildings to its delicious pastel de nata, it's a very tourist-friendly place with tons of history and photogenic corners. Even though it was pretty cold when we visited back in April, the city is actually known for its mild to moderate temperature throughout the year. For the 5 days I had in Lisbon, I tried to see everything I could in the city. Here are 5 things that I love as a first-time visitor to Lisbon, starting with number 5. Number 5. Visit the Timeout Market. Even though the Timeout Market is on everyone's recommended must-see list, I was actually a little hesitant about going because I was worried that it would be a tourist trap. But after visiting, I could definitely see why it's so popular. The market is a great food destination. It has all the great foods of Lisbon all in one place, including the famous pastel de nata. It's a great spot to try all these yummy food all in one place. But to me, what's even better about the Timeout Market is its vibe. We went on a Tuesday afternoon and the place was packed. Everyone was friendly and just having a good time. You never know, you might just make some new friends from around the world by the end of your visit.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
Number 4. Take the time to appreciate the artists of Lisbon. What I didn't expect from Lisbon is seeing all these talented artists out there performing. When you visit, I highly recommend that you slow down and just take the time to appreciate all the artists and art you see along the way. One of my favorite memories of Lisbon was listening to Jay guitar loop at this viewpoint. There was another artist who was creating art on the spot.
I'm a speed painter. I'm happily here sharing my art and doing this live performance art for living. So even if it's kind of demonstration, it's more or less like being productive at the same time making another option.
Another night, while we were just walking around waiting for our takeouts to be ready, we heard live music coming out from this bar. And we went in and just enjoyed the live performances that they had. And we also got to meet the owner. She was super nice and she even recommended these cocktails that we try. All of these experiences are definitely not some things that I could have planned in my itinerary for Lisbon. Number 3. Explore Alfama, one of Lisbon's oldest areas. Without knowing much about Alfama, we stayed in this beautiful Airbnb there, and boy, it was definitely a really tiring home base. Alfama is famous for having these steep, winding, and narrow cobblestone roads with multiple viewpoints. Even though it was so tiring, but it was so worth it because it was so beautiful. It's photogenic in every corner and also full of history. You could also see the famous 28 tram there as well. It's a perfect place just to wander around and getting lost there, but be careful because I think you could actually get lost in there. It is home to the famous fado, which is Portuguese version of the blues. At night, you can find all the best places to listen to fado within Alfama. The next time I stay in Lisbon, I would definitely choose to stay in Alfama again. Number 2. Take a day trip to Sintra. Sintra is a town about 30 minutes away from Lisbon. It's a place full of castles, palaces, and parks. It's a great place to get away from the city. It is also where the famous Park and National Palace of Pina is located. I made a video dedicated to Sintra, so be sure to check that out. I would highly recommend spending an entire day exploring the town of Sintra. And lastly, number 1, join a walking tour. One of my favorite activities that we did in Lisbon was the walking tour. There are a ton of walking tours available in Lisbon. We went with a tip-based walking tour with a fantastic guide, Pedro. We learned so much within the 3 hours we had with him. He has so many interesting stories, and we could really tell he was so passionate about the city. I would highly recommend doing this tour on one of your first days in Lisbon because I think after the tour you'll definitely see the city in a different perspective. Because of our awesome experience with Pedro, we ended up trying to book a walking tour in all of the cities that we visited. This is definitely my #1 recommendation if you plan on visiting Lisbon. And that's it. These are my top 5 favorite things to do in Lisbon as a first-time visitor. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about my experiences or my itinerary for Lisbon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
They said a lot.
Really a lot.